Hello everyone, I hope that this finds you doing very well. I'm about to make one of the most popular recipes on Family Savvy, and it is a family favorite, my spicy hamburger vegetable soup. I am so excited to share this with those of you who perhaps have never seen or made this recipe, because I know it is something that your family will love. This is a soup that I call a comfort soup. It's rich, it's hearty, it's savory. It has meat and potatoes. It is a meal in itself. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how I make it. And as you can see, I'm in my pajamas. So I just got up about an hour ago. I've been assembling all of my ingredients. And I say that to say, this is a soup that you want to get into your slow cooker in the morning. Long, low, and slow will yield the best soup. It gives time for all of the flavors to meld, to break down all of the fibers of the meat, which is already cooked and seasoned, but long, low, and slow is better. My motto is, it's always better to do things early and keep things heated than to wait too late and things are not cooked when you need it. Okay. So I'm going to start with the hamburger, and this shows my age. Many young people might not know what hamburger meat is, but I grew up calling ground beef hamburger meat. So this recipe uses ground beef or hamburger meat, and I always keep ground and seasoned hamburger meat in the freezer. I always keep 2 pounds, and it's ready to go. If I had to get up and pull out raw ground beef, season it, brown it, pour off the grease, and then make this soup, I would never do it, guys. This is probably of my top 3 tips for stress-free cooking and meal prepping, is to always keep this meat on hand. Ground beef, fully browned, seasoned, and frozen. So we're just pouring it right in. It's that easy. That's the messiest and hardest part of making any dish, is browning the meat. It's messy. It makes your kitchen smell. So it's always good to have it done. So there we go. Okay, there's a lot going on in this soup. So I'm just going to walk you through exactly the steps as well as the ingredients. Now I'm gonna put my gloves on just because I always wear these gloves. I mix with my hands. I don't like touching really food, especially meat, but I'm just wanting to wear them right now because I may mix some things. What I want you all to know is you're going to always want to do this in a 6-quart slow cooker. So this is the insert, and here's my slow cooker. And as in all of my videos, I will link to anything that I mention that you might want. This is my Drew Barrymore slow cooker. I have 2 of these. I have white and blue. I use these all the time, and it's the best slow cooker I've ever had. So love it, and I'll link to it. It would make a great gift, especially for college, someone going away to college. Okay, so I have our ground beef. Dump and go. I'm going to pour in my veggies, and this is a very forgiving recipe. If you want to add 2 things of veggies, you can. But I'm just going to start with 1 because I have a lot that's going in here, so I don't know if I can use 2 containers. This is just Publix mixed vegetables. It's carrots, corn, peas, green beans, and lima beans. So just a good mixture. You can use any type of vegetables you like. Some will have okra. I love okra, but not in this soup. I just love to mix it. It's just something in me, I have to mix it. This makes it savory. These are potatoes. Yeah, I'm not gonna use all of these because I know I'm not gonna have room. There's a Simply Potatoes brand, and then there's another brand, and someone told me they're the same company. They're called like diced potatoes, and you get them in the refrigerated section, and I love them. You don't have to peel, dice, or do anything except I put them in this bag. This is a steamer bag. 4 minutes on high in the microwave. Get them out, drop about 2 tablespoon pat of butter, sprinkle some salt, close it up, and let it sit while I'm getting all the ingredients together. Make sure they're tender. Yes, they're tender. You do not, because I've done it before, you do not want to get those potatoes and just put them in and think they'll cook, because they won't. These potatoes have to be pre-cooked, almost cooked. So that's all I'm gonna put for right now. I do want to show you all something that I do that I believe makes a difference, is I season along the way. I had already added a little salt to the potatoes and butter, and I'm gonna add a little more salt, as well as some pepper and a little garlic powder. If you salt in stages, I think the seasoning penetrates more, and I love to always salt my veggies before adding them to any dish. I don't like to add a bunch of just veggies and then salt the whole entire thing. I just think you need to salt your ingredients as you add them. Okay, and I do pepper too. I'm not gonna add all these either, and I usually don't do this, but I did a few lima beans and I simmered them on the stove top for about 20 minutes to get them tender, and then I salted them. The reason I'm adding these is because we're probably gonna have our kids over for dinner tonight. So these add fiber, they make it a little heartier. It's much easier to get lima beans that are canned because they're ready to go. You don't have to do anything but open the can. Here's another, I guess, hack. I used to use canned corn, and now I use my favorite corn. It's actually frozen. This is Mackenzie's, and this is so much better than canned corn. It's creamed corn, but it tastes homemade. I don't know what Mackenzie's does. I just put this in a bowl of hot water, so I'm just gonna break it up, and then of course I'm gonna season just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take this glove off. So season along the way. I'm gonna add a little garlic powder. And you know, the meat was seasoned when I cooked it, and I also did about 2 cups of diced frozen onion in the ground beef, so I don't have to add any onion. This is something that I learned from my friend Cindy. Her grandmother Grace had a famous vegetable soup, and in that vegetable soup, which is on the blog, I will link to that recipe, there was some chopped cabbage. I'm just gonna add some here, even though I don't really ever do it. I just thought I would add it to show you all that if you're low on one vegetable, you can go see what's in the fridge and you can just use it. Before I add the liquids, here is one of the secrets. This is called Zesty Hamburger Vegetable Soup. Zesty Italian dressing mix, good seasons. You can use the regular, but guys, it makes it so good. It's just delicious. So I'm going to add 1 can of tomatoes, diced. I'm probably going to just start with a half a can. I like to add tomato paste to any type of soup that's got tomatoes in it because it gives it a richer tomato flavor and it gives it a more red color. I don't like my soup to be pale. I like it to look rich, and the tomato paste helps. Another zesty ingredient is V8, spicy V8. You can use regular. This just adds more spice and it's just more vegetable. You don't have to use the whole can. I like to use portions and then just see how it looks as I go. But on the recipe that I'm linking to, it has portions. So now, while it's here, got a little Crystal hot sauce, any hot sauce, just add a little. And if your palate does not like too much zest, you can cut a lot of this out. Now, another little kick is this Rotel. Love Rotel. You can use a can of beef broth. I always use bone broth instead of just broth. So this is bone broth, and I'm gonna add about half of this. This is 2 cups, and I'm gonna link to this, and I may have a discount code, I'm not sure. Chroma, this is 24 karat bone broth. It's shelf stable. It's great if you're traveling, and look, 24 karat, and it has loads more protein. Chroma is a wellness company that makes fabulous, healthy, whole, gut-friendly foods. So that is a good thing to have on hand. It is on the pricey side, but then again, I don't know a high-quality bone broth that is not on the pricey side. You're gonna pay probably $7 for a regular-sized box of Kettle and Fire, unless you find it on sale. So I think this ends up being about the same. Okay, so here we go. So I've got plenty more room. So now I'm going to put gloves back on, where I can do some stirring. I like my soup to cook long, low, and slow because it will develop any fat that's still in the meat you know, I did drain it. It will render and all the flavors will meld together. There is some butter because I put some butter in the potatoes. Sometimes I'll even add a little more butter because it just makes it good, y'all. Even if you added a stick of butter, which I'm not, this makes like 10 servings, 10 to 12. I can easily see that I have room to add some more veggies. So what I'm going to do is add a few more potatoes and another frozen vegetable. Vegetables, hamburger vegetable soup. Okay, so I'm not gonna add all of them. I'm just looking to see. So we've got the bulk of it here, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. We're nearing the top of the slow cooker. So now I don't wanna add any more bulk. All I wanna add is my liquid. I'm gonna add a little more salt. I like to save some of my liquid toward the end where I can see exactly how much I need. And this is how I judge how much liquid. Just going to add, and if I ran out of this, I would just use water because there's a lot going on. But I add this until it just covers. You don't want more than, I would say, an inch. It will cook down some. This is the perfect amount. Might even need to add a little more, guys, because I added a lot of starch, a lot of potatoes. Yeah, I think I do need a little more. See, look, I could use a little more. Even though as it cooks, it will release liquid from the vegetables. I'm gonna add just a smidge more, and I'll just use this. I could add more broth, but that looks great. Worcestershire. I love Worcestershire. Another ingredient that's on the recipe, I just don't have it, is steak sauce. Just about a tablespoon of steak sauce. That umami, that wonderful depth of flavor. Worcestershire does the same thing. So I'm going to add, because it looks like it could use a little more. I'm going to do the whole tomato paste because that not only thickens it, but it gives it this rich color. So it is, I think it's almost 7. So I'm getting this in, and this is going to cook most of the day. So there you have it. I'll come back and show you all when it's done. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put it in the slow cooker and put it on low. So one more time, I'm going to show you all. It's got liquid. You can see the liquid just underneath. I don't like to cover everything. I don't like liquid to cover. I like liquid it to be just peeping through. It will release liquid as it cooks. The only thing about this slow cooker is, and I can't see, is I have to put my glasses on because the light sometimes is hard to see. So I press that. So this is high. So I'm going to go to low. I'm just going to put 8 hours. Then you have to press the start button to make it cut on. That's very important. So what I want to let you all know, because I'm going to sign off and this is going to cook. If you look at this after say 4 or 5 hours and it happens to be, which I cannot imagine unless you have a slow cooker on steroids, if it were to be boiling or bubbling, you definitely want to take the lid off, turn it down, let it cool down, and because this is just supposed to slow cook. Some people do that with their slow cooker where air can escape. I don't. I cover it. Another thing is when this is done, you can open the lid if it needs to simmer down a little bit and then put the lid back on, turn the slow cooker to warm, and it will stay warm as long as you need it until dinner or lunch. And I'm going to share with you what I like to serve this with. I'll go ahead and show you guys. This is a recipe that's on the blog. I will link to it below. I'll be making this later today because it's heavenly. My friend Carolyn shared this years ago on her blog, and it is pimento and cheese cornbread. Start with Krusty's honey cornbread, not any other brand, but Krusty's, and it's got to be the honey cornbread. It's got this, and then just a few ingredients like maybe egg and butter, pre-made pimento and cheese, bake it, and it is cornbread from heaven. So I'll be making this. This is my favorite thing and my family's favorite thing to serve with a hamburger vegetable soup. You can also use saltine crackers, but really, you've got potatoes, you've got corn. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of heft in the soup. So you could just eat it straight out of the bowl, and after one bowl, might be able to eat a second, but you'll be full. Okay, gang, I'm going to get ready for my day. I will tune back with you all when this soup is ready, and we'll wind it up. Hello, my friends. The soup is ready. I want to show you all how different it looks once it is cooked. it develops this fabulous rich color. The meat and the vegetables and the seasonings. Oh my goodness. Perfection. So yummy. All I did was throw everything in this morning. The slow cooker did all the work, and I want to show you how I like to serve this. This is just a bagged salad. I tossed the croutons and all the additives. I added tomatoes, cucumber, some seasonings, and some Costarina, EVOO, and cucumber lemon vinaigrette, and I did a little bit of Caesar from Paleo Valley. This is another recipe that I will link below. This is pimento and cheese cornbread. Literally, it's idiot proof. And it's so good because you use a Krusteaz honey cornbread mix. I've shared that with you all. I will link to all of the recipes, to the hamburger vegetable soup, pimento and cheese cornbread. I'll link to my slow cooker. And I hope that you all will make this as we approach fall. At the time of this recording, there's no better, more delicious, more satisfying soup than this hamburger vegetable soup, served with your favorite slaw or salad and some cornbread. I'm so grateful to all of you for stopping by. Always let me know your thoughts in the comments. Follow and subscribe if you like my content. And as always, until next time, be blessed and stay savvy.